You guys, Charles Olivera ain't fighting for a title ever again. Let me tell you that right now. This weekend in UFC 300, Charles Olivera is facing off against Arman Tsarukyan. And quite frankly, I think that Arman Tsarukyan is going to get the job done against Charles Olivera. I don't think there's anything that Charles Olivera can throw his way that's going to impact Tsarukyan in any way, shape, or form, right? Arman Tsarukyan's got decent wrestling. He's not going to be afraid to go to the ground with Charles Olivera if he hits him. He has KO power like we saw against Beneil Dariush. And we see Charles Olivera get hit all the time. So I think it's incredibly likely that Tsarukyan can knock him down and go to the ground, do ground and pound, maybe even knock him out. But even if Charles Olivera does come out on top, I don't think he's going to be the guy getting the next title shot, right? I think that his time as the UFC champion has come and gone. And the reason I say that is because Charles Olivera has said on multiple occasions that he has no intention of fighting Islam Makhachev again, right? He pulled out of the fight in October because of a cut over his eyebrow. We all know that. He has said repeatedly in the past, and Chael Sonnen's pointed this out, that he doesn't want to fight Islam Makhachev again. And now he's saying that even if he wins this, he's more interested in fighting Conor McGregor than he is against fighting Islam Makhachev. And so I think because of that mentality, Charles Olivera is going to lose on Saturday night at UFC 300. And really and truly, because of that mentality, really it's pointing to the fact that Charles Olivera doesn't think, I don't think he thinks he's going to win on Saturday. And even if he does, he's not interested in being put back in title contention. So the question is, who does the UFC go with? Now, there was a rumor yesterday. I don't know if this has been confirmed or not, but Dustin Poirier is going to be fighting Islam Makhachev in June for the lightweight belt. Now, I think Islam's probably going to come out on top in that one. You never know, anything's possible, but I think Islam's probably going to come out on top in that one. Then we're going to see probably another performance out of Islam Makhachev sometime in October, right? And I think that'll probably be either Justin Gaethje or Arman Tsarukyan or Charles Olivera, depending on who comes out on top. Like those are going to be the options, right? But like I said, Charles Olivera's had his chance, and he's said repeatedly that he doesn't want to fight Islam Makhachev. And his latest comments on the fact that he's calling for Conor McGregor over another crack at the title just leaves me thinking that he doesn't have the confidence in the fact that he can win against Islam Makhachev, right? And he has touted the fact that like he's more interested in that money fight. But Conor's already, like, if Conor comes back, he's fighting Michael Chandler, right? But the question is he going to even come back, right? And if he comes back, he's, a lot of people are saying he's only got 1 or 2 fights left. And so is that dance partner Charles Olivera? I don't think so. And I think before Conor officially and finally retires, and he's like 35 now, right? Before Conor officially and finally retires, he's going to fight Michael Chandler. And really, I think, and this may never happen, right? But I think the only fight people want to see Conor do is one more fight with Nate Diaz. Finish off that trilogy. Some people have said that they'd like to see him fight Poirier again, which, I don't see that as an interesting option at all. But a lot of people are saying that, he and Conor's even said that having a Poirier fight is something he'd be interested in as well. So, like I said, and the whole point of me making this video was the fact that I'm predicting for you that Charles' time at the top of the UFC lightweight division is probably over. You know what I mean? I think he's probably going to lose on Saturday because his mentality isn't to win, isn't to be champion. Been there, done that. Now he wants a money fight, right? And Arman Tsarukyan is super hungry. The guy is only 27 or 28 years old. and all he's talked about is wanting to be a UFC champion, right? And he's probably the guy who's given Islam Makhachev his toughest test up until he fought Alexander Volkanovski the first time, right? Up until that point, he was the only one who I think successfully took Islam Makhachev down, and he fought it out to a decision, whereas most people got finished, most people got dominated, but he made it a somewhat competitive fight, and he's improved a ton since then. And a lot of people kind of point at Arman Tsarukyan and say, well, he lost to Gamrot, right? But there's a lot of people who thought that, Gamrot lost that fight and Tsarukyan won. It was a very close fight. So he definitely has some incredible grappling abilities. So overall, I think that this upcoming Saturday we're going to see Arman Tsarukyan come out on top, just because I don't think Charles Olivera has that champion mentality in him anymore. I think he had all that swagger and everything that he needed to kind of come out on top in multiple fights in the lightweight division. But Islam Makhachev, when they faced each other, he beat him everywhere. There wasn't a single exchange in that fight where Islam Makhachev lost. And I think, Charles Olivera realizes that no matter what he does, he's probably not going to outwork Islam Makhachev. He's probably not going to be able to catch up in any way, shape, or form. And, even on the ground, even if the fight takes place on the ground, Islam is good enough to stop any of the offense that Charles Olivera can do off his back, any of the offense that Charles Olivera can offer. Islam has a counter for. And so I just think that Charles Olivera thinks that this isn't a winnable fight. So now I need to go for the money. So even though and by the way, he's a 2-1 underdog, right? Arman Tsarukyan is a 2-1 favorite. So I think Tsarukyan's coming out on top, and I just think the mentality of Charles Olivera right now is the fact that Islam is just too good. I'd be champion in this division if there wasn't a guy named Islam Makhachev. And so now he's thinking, okay, well, I'm not beating him as long as he is, around and not retired. So I might as well go for the money fight, try to line my pockets, fight Conor McGregor, that type of thing. But like I said, I don't see that fight happening for him. Like I said, everybody's saying that Conor maybe is going to fight 2 more times in the UFC, and then that's probably about it, right? And those 2 fights, one of them is going to be Michael Chandler, and the next one, we don't know, but I think a lot of fans want to see Nate Diaz. Some fans have said they want to see him fight Poirier again. I don't want to see that personally. Yeah. And then Charles Oliveira is not even in the top 5 people I'd like to see Conor McGregor face. So, it's kind of disappointing to see kind of Charles take that attitude, because frankly, I feel like the lightweight division has been held up a little bit just because so many people want Charles to rematch Islam, when now, I think people are over it now. But if he beats Arman Tsarukyan, Dana White has said, this is a number 1 contenders match. Justin Gaethje's in there. Poirier might fight for a title. There are a lot of moving parts here. But if Charles wins, he's going to call for Conor instead of Islam. Now we've got another situation on our hands, right? It's so clear that Charles doesn't want to fight Islam. And I think because of that, and because of what he said about wanting to fight Conor, and wanting an easier fight, wanting a money fight, I just don't see him coming out on top against Arman Tsarukyan. If you've made it this far, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button and the subscribe button, it helps with the YouTube algorithm, helps grow the channel. What do you guys think? Do you think Charles is going to win this one? And what do you think about him wanting the Conor fight out over Islam? He has said he wants to take that. Let me know in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time.